Hello, universe. I'm Bill McLean. I'm going to do a little bit of a menu. Should be pretty quick. We're going to try and keep it down to 10 minutes. 6:05. I'm going to stop in 10 minutes. So the menu interface is here. Um, on the right is number 16 over 133. 133 is the total amount of ammo that I have, and 16 is what's in the magazine. And on the left is the hit points. The orange represents radiation damage I've taken and represents how much health I can't regain. So I'm going to take a drug called Radaway right now, and you can see the orange went away. I've magically removed radiation from my body by taking a pill, and now my health, I have all the potential health points I could possibly have. Other than that, is a standard run through um, EDSF, as it always is. And then when you press the control key, you will crouch, and very similar to Skyrim, it indicates that you're hidden. And then this affects dynamics like I have a perk that if I shoot from stealth, it does more damage, a la Skyrim and a bow. And the only little difference is that there's actually two levels of hidden. There's caution, where they're kind of looking for you, but you're still hidden. So the shooting from stealth counts. And then there's, danger, which is they're actively trying to cut your throat. You're in combat if you're in danger. You're not stealthed. There's a video. I should probably do a video about stealth because it's a whole thing. But it's a menu interface item, and that's how it works. So the main problem. Wow, that guy had a name and everything. The main problem with the game is that the menus do not perform consistently throughout. So by that I mean some menus you tab to open them, and then you tab to exit. It acts as a toggle. For example, the Pip-Boy. There's tab to open the Pip-Boy, tab to exit the Pip-Boy. And then when you're in the Pip-Boy, you can use A and D to move within the menu. So under stat, there's 3 different sub menus. Under stat, inventory has a ton. There's weapons, and I'm just using the mouse and clicking to move to the next one. But alternatively, you can use the A and D to go back and forth. For simplicity's sake, I would suggest just using the mouse to go back and forth. The radio has basically no use. You can listen to the radio if you want. There's classical music. There's Diamond City Radio, which is they play a variety of stuff, and there's a DJ. Some of these are quest-based, so you need the radio in order. But basically, there's no point to it. The map is just the map. You can zoom in and out. The map, by the way, is just the Boston area. It's kind of like the Bay Area. It's just, yeah, Boston's here. This is Cambridge, I think. This is Lexington. Is it Lexington up here? Maybe, wait, that's Concord, and this is Lexington. So it's Concord, Lexington, Cambridge, and I guess this is Boston. But you never go to Boston. You don't go to Lexington per se. You go someplace in Lexington, but you never go to Lexington at the border. It doesn't matter. It's just one big giant map. Data, the main use of data, there's some stats, who cares? Workshops, I don't understand, and I'm not going to try and explain. Quests, I really, that is something I need to figure out. Quests, this is just your quests. Down here, I think, these are the finished quests, and these are the ones I haven't done yet. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing in here, I'm not sure any of this matters. This is about you, but like, so if your limb was injured, like you can take damage and lose your health bar, um, and lose points on your health bar and take a stim pack and come back. But you can also break your limb, and then this would show you which limb. Although it doesn't matter which limb, you just take a stim pack, and then your limb is better. So it doesn't. You don't really need to be here. This shows you how you've distributed your main points. This shows you how you've distributed your perks. But again, I'm not sure how important it is. So basically, you can ignore the stat, you can ignore the radio, map you're going to use, this you're going to use for quest, and this is you're going to spend most of your time here in inventory. So one of the things in the inventory is the Q key. So I'm going to press Q, and it's just your favorites menu. So I'm pressing tab out. So let's say that I wanted to make this cryo mine, I want to hotkey it. So I'm going to press Q. So now where I select here on this crossbar, say 7, is where I'm going to drop a cryo mine. You know, so when I press 7, the cryo mine will drop. They have put the hotkeys in this cross shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, well, 0, minus, and equals. There is no reason whatsoever to do this. They could have just run them straight across, but they put it in this box because they're morons. There's no reason for it. It's just straight across the top of your keyboard, 1 through equal sign. That's it. It's kind of nice. You get to use minus, 0, minus, and equals. I think in Skyrim it stopped at 6 or something. So it's nice to be able to have the extra ones. But this cross thing, these arrows don't mean anything. It's not important. It doesn't do anything. It's not, you know, I guess you could use the arrow keys to move them around, but I mean, there's no point to any of this. It's just 1 through equal sign straight across your keyboard. It's just put in this cross shape because they're morons. Anyway, so if I wanted to put the cryo, pick 7, now the cryo minus this. So every time I press 7, let's see, tab out of the menu, so I'll just press 7, and I've dropped a cryo mine. Am I going to drop it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So that's all there is to it. So the menu items, as I said before, so some of them are simply in or out. So it should always be the same, consistent through every menu. You should have the same keys to go in and the same keys to go out, no matter what the menu is. That's just common sense. Any moron would make a game so that it's consistent throughout. But Bethesda is filled with special morons, and so it doesn't work that way. In terms of the Pip-Boy, it's a toggle. You press tab, and then you tab out. That's one tab, tab out. Once you're in the menu, the simplest thing is just use the mouse to select what you want. Okay. So, but let's look at another menu. Let's go back to Sanctuary here. There is a base building aspect to this game. You can totally build a base. I have not done it, but you can do it. And one of the things that you might use to make a base is to use the workbench, but I'm not going to do that. But I am going to use the workbench. Let's see. Now what I want to do is show you a different menu interface. I'll do the weapons and armor, but just for the sake of, just to illustrate the different ways that they make to go in and out. So if I leave the cursor on this weapons workbench, it says E for craft. So I'm going to press E, and that's going to bring me up the weapons menu. And now I'm using the W and S to move up and down to pick one. So these are my various weapons. So let's pick, maybe I can do something with this one. Let's pick this weapon. So once I'm in, oftentimes to select something, I could just use the mouse, and I'm going to tab to go back. I can also press E. So you can see I'm using E to go deeper into the menu. So for this particular weapon, there's 1, 2, 3, 5 categories of things I could change. I could change the capacitor, I could change the sniper barrel, the barrel, I could change the stock or the grip or the handle. I can change what kind of scope it has, and I can change whether or not it has a muzzle, which would include, for the laser weapons, it's a little more complicated. But so let's say I want to put a muzzle on it. Some of these I can't do because it requires that I have GunNet or Science 2, which I do not have. But I can put on a gyro compensating lens. This is basically a sniper laser rifle. So I think we'd want something like better range, accuracy, and recoil. That's probably what we'd want. So I'll take that. So I can press E or click with the mouse. And then in order to do this, it's going to take 3 adhesive, 3 plastic, 3 glass, 2 silver, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to do it, so yes. So now I've improved the, it's got better range, better accuracy, and better recoil. I can't go down any farther in the menu, so if I want to come back up out of the menu, just like with going into the Pip-Boy, I'm going to press Tab to come back out. So in this menu, it's Tab to go out, E or click to go down, see? Down, Tab to come out, see? Now watch what happens. Here I'm at the top of the menu. So what do you think would happen if I press Tab? You would think it would be the same thing, since Tab takes me out, that this would make me exit the menu. Just like it does when I'm using the Pip-Boy. Tab to call the Pip-Boy up, Tab to call the Pip-Boy out. Simple. But when I press Tab here in this particular menu, they want to have an "Are you sure?" And so guess what I need? I need to either mouse click or press E. Enter. You can press E when it says enter. Do you see how weird that is? Why don't I just tab out? Or I could press tab to cancel. So normally I would just tab out, tab out, tab out. Wait, how come I'm not tabbing out? It just puts you in this loop. It's like, it's insane. It's completely counterintuitive, and they all need to be lined up in front of a stout wall and shot. Obviously, it's ridiculous. Just to make worse, what do you need to do to actually exit? You have to press E. What does E do, Bill McLean, in this menu? If you press E, you go down. You go into the menu. You press Tab to go, I'm pressing Tab to go out of the menu, but I need to press E, which normally takes me into the menu in order to exit the menu. Oh my God, it is insane. Why do they do this? It's very confusing. So that's an example. Here's, this is the base building menu here. I'm going to press E for workshop. So this is the base building menu. Essentially what you're doing here is you're saying I can press R to scrap this. I'm going to get 4 steel if I scrap it, so I've scrapped it. Here's another one. I'm pressing R to scrap, and I've scrapped it. Press R, and then E to scrap it, R, and then E to scrap it. In this case, E is actively doing something. R, and then E to scrap it. Okay? So you would think I would want to, either I would tab and leave the menu, right? Which I did with the Pip-Boy, or I would tab and then press E to escape the menu. Watch what happens when I press tab. Nothing. It does nothing. In order to leave this menu, you have to press, wait for it, escape. Escape is the main menu. Do you see what I mean about the different menus working in different ways? It is nuts. You can't just learn what they're doing. Obviously the thing to do would be the same all the time. They would never, as far as I'm concerned, there would never be an "Are you sure?" Well, I don't need an "Are you sure?" If I'm in the gun place, I just tab, 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 and if I go too far, I'll go back in, and I'll figure it out, but it's the same all the time. But that's how this thing works. So if you want to build something, we'll put down, I think I have enough for gun turret here. Let's see. So I'm going to go into the workshop again. Now I can use the arrow keys to move around, as you see. But if I wanted to make, say, let's make some water. Okay, so I'm going to press E to select the resources. So now I'm in the resources menu. Now it's not food, it's not miscellaneous. I want to make water. So basically what this is doing is making a water pump, and I'm going to put it right somewhere right there, water pump. Because the base would like to have some water. And why wouldn't they, I ask you? Water's good. Water, it's more water than they'd ever need. So now, you can see down at the bottom here, I'm pressing tab to come out. Tab to go out, tab to go out. Oh wait, once I get to this level of the menu, in order to exit the menu, I don't press tab. I don't press tab and then select E to say, yes, I really do want to leave. I actually have to press escape. And it doesn't say, do you really want to? Once I press escape to get out of the menu, it doesn't say, do you really want to leave the menu? And then I press E, it just takes you right out because, god damn it. So they are different for each menu, and that's what is, I believe, I don't know what's confusing me about the menus, but that was certainly confusing for me. So one last thing, and then I'm going to stop. So let's see. In the menu, under inventory, there's this junk, and the junk is actually a very cool part of the game. If you see the aluminum can is highlighted, and you see down below on the right, the aluminum can is basically yields 2 aluminum. A regular can yields 2 bits of steel. This, whatever this is, yields bone. This coffee cup yields ceramic. You get the idea. And you may recall from the menu here, if I go down to our friend, the laser rifle, I am now pressing E to go into the menu, and then I have a sniper barrel on it. In order to change it from there to an improved short barrel, I would need to have this amount of adhesive, 2 circuits, 1 crystal, so on. So the junk is the source of the materials to make the various parts for the weapon and also for the armor. So when you pick up junk around town, you're going to be using it in the armor and weapon workbenches, and the chemistry station, and the food station. Everything you pick up, basically, you can do stuff with. Here I am pressing E to exit. So you end up, as a consequence, picking up all this junk. And I can carry 340 pounds. I'm currently carrying 194. But obviously you don't want to carry all this stuff around. So what you do is you can go to the workbench, and instead of pressing E to get the workbench menu, workshop menu up, you can press R to transfer, and then T, you can see it right here, store all junk. T is store all junk. And it basically takes all your junk and throws it into the workshop. So since I've done that, now when I look under junk, there's nothing there. But because it's been thrown into the workshop, it will be available to me here. So I go back to Righteous Authority, the laser weapon, and let's say a sniper barrel. All the adhesive is still available to me, even though it's not actually on my person. So pick up all the junk you can, press R and then T to throw it into the workshop, and then that stuff will be available for you when you're grinding out weapons and armor. So I think that's the menu. The confusing parts about the menu is just, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know how such a thing could possibly have gotten back and past the playtesters. Obviously, they have a problem between the playtesters and the creators, because it's nightmarish. It should never gotten past alpha. But to have it on a released game is just absurd. Anyway, I think that's all the menu stuff that I can think of. If you have a specific menu question, maybe this Saturday you can tell me what you're thinking. But I think that's the menu interface. I think there's a way to make the various workers, well, I don't really know how to do it, so I won't talk about it. I think that's all. So you can build a base here, basically. But it is not necessary in any way. And you can tell people to come back here like, this is a companion for me, this mutant walking around. But I like the dog. Alright, that's it for now. I hope you enjoy this game. I sure did. It's all a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland, but the textures are fantastic. They're crappy, terrible things depicting the ruinous everything, but the textures are real. I really like the textures and the level of detail and everything is just super good. And the weapon system is great. It's great to be able to build your own weapons. It's great to be able to build your own armor. It's good stuff. I recommend the dog. He's over at the gas station at the end of this road. You sort of follow this road out of town, I guess, over to Concord. But the gas station is just over this bridge. You see the red rocket there? My cursor's on it. That's where the gas station is, and the dog is there. And he's a great little tank. The bonus about him is that essentially he's invulnerable. He will take damage until he's beaten down, and then he kind of sort of crouched and whimpering, and he doesn't fight anymore, and they lose interest in him and come after you. But he doesn't die right away. It takes a while. He'll tank him for a while for you. And bonus, he doesn't die. They can't kill him, and eventually he just comes back on his own. And I imagine that's true for all the companions. But the dog doesn't technically count as a companion. So he does the tanky stuff, he'll carry stuff for you, but he doesn't really count as a companion. And there's a perk called Lone Wanderer that gives you extra carry weight and means you take less damage. But the penalty is you can't have a companion. You can't have somebody walking around with you. Unless it's the dog. So you can take this thing, be able to carry more junk, and have the dog as a companion because he doesn't count as a companion. People, Mr. Cogsworth counts as a companion, but not the dog. So, you know, that's sort of has nothing to do with menu. Okay, I think that's it. There's a ton of other stuff to talk about, but maybe we'll leave that for another time. All right, man. Take care. Bye.